teach children to do things. But there's also been a time of, let us say, shortages, when you couldn't even give some basic elementary facilities in school. I'm not faulting anybody, but it just so was. That's the reality. But after something like the 1970s and 80s, there was this attention again given for schools to be better equipped. Some attempts were made, then came in the 80s some other attempts, and so on. There's been every decade a review of how schools should be better equipped, better fitted. But actually the overtaking of schools with equipments which have made children think, oh, there's so much to it which we have not learned in our science classes. But nothing has stopped them from using any one of them. You know, today many of the digital games or digital learning materials, tools which come to enhance your learning skills, are not something which anybody is taught to, but you are readily have taken to it and you are benefiting from it. But these are very application based, and it's great fun to use it. Nothing wrong in using it. You should use it and become benefited by it. But what actually gives those apps to us? What actually happens in creation of those easy to use gadgets? There's a lot of science behind it. Not very complicated science, but once you understand the simple science behind it, it's always possible for you to be creative and apply it in various different ways. The fun of science is that. The fun of learning science is that. And irrespective of any number of people telling me science frightens us, math frightens us, I think it's the initial inhibition that you have. And it's also because it's now become, now I think that's not the right word, at least it's some time ago, it became so much of a rote process learning. You didn't have hands-on experience of understanding why a heavy object should always run, come from a higher level to a lower level, why water flows. All these are simply explained through hands-on experiences. And that is exactly what your labs should provide you. You should have, other than learning the theory of physics or theory behind any particular formulation, you should have hands-on experience. Science should be made interesting. And science actually has an implication in every aspect of our life. Whether it is in your bathroom, whether it's in your kitchen, whether you're sitting and listening to little music somewhere, science plays a role in each one of them, and therefore, I don't think NAGA students who are extremely good in fine arts, music, need to feel that that's not for me, science is not for me, I'm more inclined in this. Actually, there's a great correlation between science and arts. People who do extremely well in maths are also very good in music. People who do extremely well in languages are also brilliant in their mathematics or physics. They're all very interlinked. So there is no way in which we can conveniently say, sorry, my inclination is towards fine arts, I don't care so much about maths and science. You don't need to care, but it can give you some clues to what you're doing, and it can give a mutual learning strength if you are good at science and good at maths, but you're not inclined towards arts, you still will have some contribution to it. So don't compartmentalize anything, particularly when it comes to basic school and higher secondary level science, mathematics, or little gadgets of engineering that you can make up. I'm actually very impressed by many of these large corporations which realize that when they spend money on children, be it through their corporate social responsibility funds or through any other funds, it actually has a long-term implication. The child's association with your company will always be etched in their minds and in the children's minds, and also the kind of learning that it gave them will have a long-term consequence of what they can do other than what is taught to them in schools. So I think this association of multinational companies, big businesses, to invest in schools and to skill children in schools is a fantastic thing, especially for India, especially for a state like Nagaland, which have children who are looking for opportunities to get to know more, get to have better skills and so on. So I think this, Honorable Deputy Chief Minister, this attempt to get businesses to come and help you to form some kind of an understanding with the education department, to extend that facility is a great attempt. I personally, as a Member of Parliament from Karnataka, did take Atal Innovation Mission. In a way I designed it for myself because I wanted all the government schools, all the schools in the private area also, but we were catering to children from economically weaker sections to have a tinkering lab each. So I drew the map of the coastal Karnataka and took it upon myself to provide as many schools funds from Niti Aayog so that they can have that kind of what was called a tinkering lab, essentially a lab for spreading greater hands-on experience of science. Above that came a layer which children who are familiar with the tinkering labs will move over to going into colleges, and colleges should have a higher grade lab which will again give them a chance to continue what they've learned in school. And above all this, in a pyramid kind of a shape, was that one in that area, the institution of excellence, which could be an engineering college, or it could be a medical college, or it could be a multi-subject campus in which you have medicine, engineering, or some ITI and so on. That one place which was an innovation hub where there could be industry participation to fund that which is pilot tested to be scaled up so that there can be a commercial application of this. So that model is working very well in Karnataka. There are very many other states took their own shape. They looked at a couple of schools, couple of colleges, couple of higher education. So the system is flexible. The government is willing to spend on bringing that infrastructure facility in schools so that children have this advantage even when they are in class 6, 7, 8 and upwards. So I think Nagaland, and you have a very energetic head looking after school and education aspects, Tavasilan would certainly give his maximum best and bring in a lot more of private entrepreneurs, bring in a lot of business to give you that added advantage so that schools in Nagaland can have that benefit. Niti Aayog should still be approached, you should still get the innovation lab and its collaterals so that you are offering the real best for students in Nagaland. But having said all this, I recall something which I said in a school earlier in Delhi. I went to attend their Platinum Jubilee celebration, and I had to coin something to make it recall worthy. So I said, you're all familiar with the English alphabets. I will recall 5 of them which come one after the other in the English alphabet series. And for each one of them, there is an attribute which I think is absolutely critical for children of your age. I wouldn't say that to younger ones because I'm sure the parents do that. But I strongly want you all to participate in this because I think they have a very strong message, and for me, Many of them are messages which were not given like this, but in pieces by my teachers. So the English alphabets which come in a sequence, which I want to mention to you, are O. What comes after that? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, R, S. Stop there. Only these 5. O, P, Q, R, S. For each one of them, there is an attribute which I think is absolutely critical. In one or two of them, your teachers might get angry with me, but I will still say it. Okay? So it's going to be fun for you also. O is for observe. Just don't look at things. Look, but observe them. Look at what your friends have made and see what the features in it. Is there something you want to add more to it? So for everything that you look at, but even as you're walking in the road, don't do it. You'll stop the traffic. So, but there are times, you know what I'm trying to tell you. If you're looking at something, don't stop by giving a cursory look. Observe it keenly, because that gives you that little additional, what I can call it as, let's say, additional knowledge about the thing, additional information about the thing. You should cultivate that habit of not just looking, observe. P is the next. What would you think I wanted to say? Is there anybody who would like to guess? Huh? Anybody else? Come on. I'm only talking about alphabets. I'm not talking science. No? At least one, and a girl at that. One. What would you say for P? Play! Is that difficult? You should play. Don't sit alone and do things. Join with a couple of friends and play something that you want to play. Indoor, outdoor, it doesn't matter. But don't cut down on play. That builds your personality, that helps in making friends, that helps you in understanding how to react to situations. So please don't, that's a simple thing, all of us expect to do it, but we never get to doing it because our demands on our times are so much nowadays. Your mother would say, you come back from school, have something, a sandwich or something, come help me with something, and then go do your homework. Is there a component to play? No. But take out some time to play. Alright? So OP. Q. That's where your teachers are going to be upset with you. Question. Normally, and teachers are very good, parents are very good, but after one question, people get irritated. Enough, I have other things to do. Get going with your work. Pursue it with that kind of persistence. Follow it up. Ask questions. Seek answers. Don't irritate. But never mind. Never forget. You asked a question, you didn't get a reply. That time they couldn't give you a reply, but maybe some other time. But question things. Okay? So then what is the next? In this day and age, it's not going to be popular, but I will still say this. Read. Please do read. Read a book, read something on Kindle, read it on the phone, read a newspaper, it doesn't matter. But read. Read at least for half an hour in a day. It can be in the morning, it can be in the afternoon, it can be in the evening, just before bed, it doesn't matter. But read. Only when you read, your thoughts clear up in your mind. And about the thing that you read, you also start thinking, saying, why was it written like that? Why can't it be written differently? Or have they tried suggesting to us something? But I don't go by that suggestion, I have something else. All this works up in your mind only if you read. And I'm not talking about reading your textbooks. Read anything other than your textbook. Read your textbooks as well. Don't go tomorrow to your parents or your school and say that woman came from Delhi, she told me not to read anything, damn you and your textbook. No. Do read your textbook, otherwise I'll be mad. But read other things as well. And the last one, the fifth one, is S, and I honestly want you to make a yes.
School in the year 2014, and the school was renamed to Dr. Neilhouzhü Kire Government Higher Secondary School on 10th August 2017. The school was named after late Dr. Neilhouzhü Kire, who was an educationist and was one of the founding members of Kohima Science College and Kohima College, Kohima, including other educational institutions. He was the first Naga matriculate and also the first Naga medical doctor. The school has classes from 6 to 12, having arts and commerce streams. The school has an enrollment of 610 students, with a strength of 40 teaching staff and 11 teaching staff.
Kohima, I had the good fortune, ma'am, to receive you in Longwa in May 2018 as a Deputy Commissioner of Bone. Today I have the proud privilege to receive you in Kohima as the Principal Director of School Education. It's a matter of great pride for all of us here at the Department of School Education to host you at this event now. The kids are excited. It's a singular honor of meeting and interacting with you. We're incredibly grateful to you for graciously accepting this invitation and being with us here. I take a minute here to brief you about what we're doing at the Department of School Education over and above our routine administrative work. The department at this point in time has 4 key focus areas. The first being the foundational literacy literacy, because we've sort of seen that any intervention at a later point in time is not going to have the intended effect if you're not intervening at a very early age. So the base is strengthening the foundation is going to be our first focus area. The second focus area for us is bridging the gap between on both physical and digital infrastructure. There's always a gap between demand and supply. So that's a second focus area now. The third focus area for us as a department is a combination of curriculum, pedagogical and assessment reforms. A key intervention is integration of life skills and helping kids develop an entrepreneurial mindset. We want to expose kids to the entire stack of established and emerging technologies, starting with artificial intelligence to machine learning, deep learning, Internet of Things, blockchain, big data, Web3, metaverse, and the entire spectrum of technologies, so that they're positioned for the future when it happens. A fourth focus area is kids with special needs, both physical disabilities as well as kids with specific learning disabilities. Our curriculum, pedagogical and reforms assessment has, all of them have universal design learning at the core in order to take care of this. We're putting together an expert group consisting of who's who in the school education ecosystem, a panel of experts of sorts from various foundations and organizations, as we embark on a journey to transform the school education in our state. At this point in time, ma'am, it's pertinent to mention how a meeting of the global CEO of IBM, Mr. Arvind Krishna, with you sometime in November 2021 led to this event today. You had encouraged IBM to expand their work in the Northeast, and that's what led to their starting work in Nagaland. In January 2022, IBM collaborated with the Department of School Education to introduce the IBM STEM for Girls program in more than 250 secondary and high secondary schools across 16 districts in the state. The curriculum will align and supplement the state's efforts towards quality education. This program will help enable more than 12,000 girls studying between grades 8 to 12 with access to digital fluency, coding skills training, 21st century skills, including life and career skills. The partnership is a 3-year engagement between IBM and the Nagaland state government, with Quest Alliance and YouthNet as our implementation partners. The whole idea is to increase the participation of girls, children, and women in STEM careers, and that's something that we noted in your address. And we're already working on it, and we would increase our efforts going forward. The program also aims to empower more than 1,400 teachers in the participating schools to engage and train students on computational thinking, STEM, and agency development for girls. Educators will use IBM Skillsville, a platform that's been developed by IBM with more than 85,000 courses. It includes online coursework and tools to engage with students. The program currently is being implemented in 6 districts with about 69 primary schools, and with a plan to increase engagement to all schools across the state over a period of time. We are also signing an MOU with IBM for the Skillsville program, which will greatly benefit students and teachers alike. As I close my speech, I would like to warmly welcome you once again to Nagaland, and thank you so much for being here.
Today, this program at Dr. Neilhouzhü Kire Government Higher Secondary School, Kohima, will go down in history. We are indeed blessed and honored to have with us Honorable Union Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, a role model for women empowerment, an icon and Fortune India's most powerful woman in India, our country. So let's give a round of applause to Dr. And I take this time on behalf of UNED to warmly welcome you and request our founder and chair, Hekandi Dr. Lu, to give you a humble token of our love. Especially made for online. Culture, our Honorable Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi, in fact, bought products from UNED's Made in Nagaland e-commerce website last year. He tweeted, "India is proud of Naga culture, synonymous with bravery, compassion, and creativity." And then he has shown his support to our Made in Nagaland as well, and then brought the product. So thank you so much. UNED is a 16-year-old organization, and since our inception, we have been able to impact more than 1,25,000 people. Our work focuses on education, employment, entrepreneurship, environment, and livelihood. And to celebrate the presence of our chief guest here today, I'd like to take this opportunity to draw our attention to some of the meaningful CSR initiatives and effective programs of the government that have transformed and will continue to significantly impact the lives of our young people and the students through capacity building, skill development, and skill upgradation programs. The first one would be UNED, in partnership with the Department of Youth Resources and Sports, supported by the Department of School Education, is implementing Launchpad. And I would like to highlight that Launchpad was launched in this school at Dr. Neilhouzhü Kire Government Higher Secondary Schools, and I commend the school authorities for welcoming us today for this program as well. And this Launchpad program is a career guidance and employability skills development program for all class 12 higher secondary schools, 44 of which, and then they are covered across all the 16 districts in Nagaland. And this program is one of the state government's innovation scheme. In order to create an innovative culture in the education system, under Startup Nagaland, a flagship program of Startup India, the Department of Industries and Commerce, UNED, Udyam Learning Foundation, and supported by the Department of School Education, collaborated to set up entrepreneurship development centers in 5 districts for the pilot phase and introduce entrepreneurship development mindset curriculum. I am pleased to announce that Dr. Neilhouzhü Kire Government Higher Secondary School is also one of the EDCs in the 5 districts, and this EDC provides facilities like plug and play, working space with research labs for the students. Also, UNED is fortunate to partner with the Department of School Education to implement vocational education under Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan across 11 districts in Nagaland. To address the rise of unemployment in the state of Nagaland, Quest Alliance partnered with UNED to introduce Accenture Skills to Succeed program in 2016. The program is designed to help youth build skills and confidence.
I want to begin this discussion here, this brief conversation here, by saying that IBM was instrumental by making the Atal Innovation Mission platform. Mentor of change, IBM brought its technologies and its talent and skilling and volunteers to bring and make this platform so that 10,000 or 8,000 now, I think, Atal Innovation Mission, ATL labs, Atal Tinkering labs across the country is far more connected. We are also instrumental, ma'am, for the first time to bring an under-18 internship into an IBM office, into an SEZ with under-18 internship. And thanks to all the technology and talent and people that IBM sort of believes in giving back to the society. IBM is about 111 years old company, if you didn't know, if some of you knew. It's great, but it's 111 years old. And CSR, which is widely used today, it's about 70 years old at IBM. On-demand skilling, on-demand volunteer work is 70 years old in this company. However, we've also evolved as the company grew and the new company law came into being. And it so happened that, just as Sri Tawa was saying, that foundational skills are extremely important, we also think that a technology company like IBM, future skills are extremely important. I don't want to go back to any more data. I think enough has been talked about. Ma'am has been hearing a lot of data, and thanks to her, ma'am, that we've come to know about Nagaland and so many opportunities to work here for the very first time. Since we were kids, we've been hearing about Northeast Agenda, and today I feel privileged to even get those insights about Nagaland and so many opportunities. Like Mr. Tawa said, Skills Build is a platform that IBM will be committed to provide an opportunity for all the students here, both in K-12 as well as higher education initiatives. In fact, I'm very happy and proud to say that, over the last year and a half or two, I think, close to 2 years now, we supported and did about 26,000 jobs in this gig economy, remote working, through Skills Build across the country. And we trained about 13 million, 1.3 million, 13 lakh students and youth on Skills Build in partnership with Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. So going back to the story, and children, this is more for you. And I know you must be tired, waiting for all of us and to come on a holiday. But I want to talk about this story of hardship leading to an amazing story of a role model. There was this child in a very remote place where the child did not even have shoes to wear. Okay? And one day, the child really chanced upon a program, not really STEM for Girls. STEM for Girls is just 3 years old. We had other STEM programs. And came to one of our centers, learned about emerging technology, challenged the hardship and poverty, and went on to trade sneakers and shoes that he was passionate about because he was deprived of that in his childhood. He made a startup. He not only did a startup but employed several people, gave them jobs. So I think we are all looking at role models. Today you can aspire to be ma'am. Today you can aspire to be anybody. The world is at our feet today, especially for you. So we would definitely like to extend everything that we can to support and strengthen STEM for Girls and through our initiative of Skills Build to really work, and maybe perhaps, I don't know, we'll have to still work on our strategic paper, but make Nagaland very, very aligned with implementation of the NEP National Education Policy 2020.
Nagaland TV, Sob Manulaga Awas. Watch us live on Geo TV and on your television sets as well. For Dimapur viewers, we are on channel number 994 in Global Chapter, and Kohima and Mokokchung viewers, switch to channel number 138 on Hornbill Digital. For all news and updates, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and Twitter.